All right, this is part one of a multi-part series, Mark IV, Big Turbo, 180 content. This is one of many big projects coming this season. Kayla's R32, the drag car, 2.5 turbo. We got an S5, big turbo. We got all kinds of stuff. From the hints that we've shown you guys in the past videos, and even in this video, what are you guys looking forward to this season? Clayton, we're back. Mark IV 1AT content. I mean, a lot of viewers, a lot of subscribers have probably tagged along this channel because of 1AT content. And these things are becoming more and more scarce, so appreciate it while you can get it, I guess. I mean, we will have some cool stuff, 1AT stuff coming later in the season when Greg's drag car gets here.
Oh yeah, okay.
So get to work, Greg, on your drag car so you can get it here and tune it. But this car specifically is a Mark IV 20th anniversary GTI from Chicago. The owner of this vehicle reached out to me. It was kind of a last minute booking for winter projects, but it kind of checked all the right boxes, so we told him to get it here. And the backstory essentially is he had a couple good shops that he had dealt with over the years, but like any project, when you get tons and tons of parts piling up, and when you compare to Mark VII stuff, which is really easy to make power in and just swap a turbo and go, when you get into this kind of depth of a project, you usually get pushed off and pushed off and pushed off. So we decided to take it on, and we've tackled this thing full force. The goal for it is a 1AT like it was from factory, and it already had a big turbo on it previously, but he's stepped up a couple of notches, or stepped up his, I don't know what to say.
Stepped up his game?
Stepped up his game,
yeah.
That's right, a couple of notches to make some more horsepower. So in this video we're going to show you a little bit of the car, a little bit of the parts, and start some of the assembly in trying to get the guys, to reach the guys' goals here. We're trying to make probably 600 plus wheel horsepower on this one. It is going on standalone. There's a slew of parts.
Lots of bins.
This isn't even all the bins, Clayton. There were so many, there's so much for this build, and it's a lot of really, really cool stuff, and we're adding some also cool stuff to it. But one thing to note, if you're bringing a car to a shop, especially at a long distance like this guy nailed it on how to bring everything. Everything is literally labeled, well, not that.
That's a bad example.
But so many of the parts are just labeled as they...
Here, just show that for a second. Like, individual, like, speed sensor.
Yeah.
Shifter
I mean,
bolts.
obviously I know what this stuff is, but...
And to be honest, not even bringing a vehicle like this to another shop, even if you're building the car yourself.
Yeah, the organization...
Label stuff,
yeah.
Like I totally did with Kayla's car.
Yeah, you didn't do that.
No.
So there's lots of bins, lots of cool stuff. We've already been working on it for a bit now, so I'll show you some of the stuff that we did. I would probably have some time lapse and stuff of this. It came here with the engine, actually. Do we have any footage of it with the engine? Maybe we do have a little bit. It now is rocking 2 transmissions.
That's a sweet mod.
It's a sweet mod. The reason is the transmission that it came with was a bit beat up on, and he has another one that I'm putting a diff in. It's getting the full meal deal, this thing. So we've already pulled the engine out. We've already mocked up the intercooler, 850 horsepower core. All the charge piping and everything has all been powder coated. You'll see this as the video goes on. And we started assembling the engine. We pulled it out. I want to check a few things. So let's get to that footage. Oh, enough about that for a second, Clayton. What about this?
Why are you whispering? It's not a secret.
It's a secret.
It's a secret. Secrets.
R32 turbo. Lots has gone on with this thing. Probably see a video on this one. Not of it running, that's for sure.
No, it should be overrun next week.
No, but you'll probably see a video of this within the next week or so. So let's get back to the 20th. We didn't build this engine. We're basically assembling it, but before I assemble it, I wanted to check the bearings. So I pulled a couple of bearing caps off. The bearings are mostly fine. There, a little bit of trash has gone through that one. This one looks pretty good. Since I got them apart, I'm gonna just, I don't know what bearings these are, so I'm gonna put a set of race bearings in it and carry on reassembling it all. But just wanted to double check, put my peepers on everything, make sure things were good. Everything does look good. Well, I still got to take these two apart, but I'm gonna put new bearings in this now while I have it apart, and then we'll put everything back together and start putting the fun stuff on. All right, bearings are out. Some of them, I mean, not crazy wear or anything like that, but it was worth swapping them out. So we got the head cleaned up, or sorry, the block cleaned up, head gaskets ready to go on, and new ARP studs, all the regular fixings. The head has quite a bit of stuff done to it, and I will tell you what's all done to that once I remember what it is. All right, cylinder head's on. Valve cover's on, looking blingin' now. So time to put the intake manifold on and the exhaust manifold and turbocharger. Start making this thing look real pretty. All right, so now that the engine's together, we got to start putting on the intake manifold, the exhaust manifold, you know, turbo, all that stuff. So it has a IE intake manifold, as you can see, has Hemi throttle body, ID 1700s, because you will be running ethanol in this thing. So lots of fuel, IE fuel rail. There's a few other bits in here, some dress up pieces and stuff. I'm swapping out the fuel pressure regulator for a different one because we've run into problems running a stock style fuel pressure regulator with big lines and ethanol. So now we'll get all this together. Maybe I'll do a little bit of time lapse of that and get this on the engine. All right, intake manifold is on, fuel rail's on. Most of this is likely gonna stay roughly where it is now. It might get moved a little tiny bit more. Had to be a little bit of modification to the alternator to make the Hemi throttle body fit, but that's all good. It's looking pretty. So now exhaust manifold and turbocharger. One thing, obviously, I still gotta time it all up, so there's still a bit to do here. We'll pull the mount off and get all this timed up also. But yeah, it's looking good. Look at it now, Clayton. Look at it now. This thing looks amazing, actually. I probably would have chatted about some of the specs of everything in the video, and I apologize if I'm gonna repeat myself, but it's hard to film stuff over a period of time and then remember what I actually filmed or not. So, integrated, it's a 1.8 liter.
What engine code though? What engine code is it?
It doesn't matter, Clayton, it doesn't matter. It's a 1.8 turbo, 20 valve engine. I don't remember the bore of this one though. Because again, this was already, I didn't build the bottom end, I didn't build the cylinder head. I believe the cylinder head was built by FFE. So I believe it has a set of either cat cams or Shrek cams. I will add this stuff in the video to make sure that everybody knows what's going on with this thing. I just don't remember off the top of my head. So 1.8 liter, it has Malley pistons, integrated engineering connecting rods. It has integrated engineering intake manifold, Hemi throttle body, their fuel rail, a set of ID 1750s, I think.
The box over there somewhere.
Right here. The box is right here. 1700s. So because we're running ethanol in it, it's got a radium fuel pressure regulator, which we've added. We were adding a radium fuel cell, not fuel cell, surge tank as well.
Yeah, so although he supplied a lot of parts, you're also supplying a lot of parts for
doing the parts to like finish it up. It is going to be running a 6266 turbo. We've made about 700 wheel horsepower on a similar turbo, actually a little bit smaller than this. I think for this setup, it is primarily a street car. He likes to go out and have fun on the streets. Hence, I mean, you may have seen in some of the B-roll, it has a set of R888s on it on the front. It has tubular control arms. The thing is everything. You guys are going to see it all throughout the video series. We just wanted to put the first video out, kind of show you where we're at with the engine. It still needs to be timed up. It has integrated engineering, cam sprocket. I got to change out the crank bolt. I got to change a few things out to make it kind of up to my speed. And as you would have seen in the video, I checked the rod bearings, swapped those out. Some other things about that one, Clayton. I don't know if I mentioned this video. God, I could be just repeating myself left and right.
I'm not God, I'm Clayton.
Clayton, yeah, God. It's going on, wait, no, hold on, that thing. It's going on ECU Master. So we're gonna have some good time with it on the dyno. It has, again, you're gonna see this in the series, but upgraded differential, twin disc clutch, everything.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, it has everything. So this one, you're talking about this one?
Yeah.
This is one we did for
Customer from New Jersey.
New Jersey.
New
Jersey. Basically 180 looks brand new. Bored out. It's 82 millimeter. We did JE pistons, set of CTS connecting rods. They've been balanced. This one's going out the door within the next day or so. So it looks all fancy and fly right now. But the main focus of this video is this beautiful gem here. We still got to time it up and stuff, but
I tripped over like 8 things.
There's a lot of stuff going on in here right now. Okay, Clayton and I basically wrapped this video up, but there's a few things that I think I mentioned earlier in the video that I would include in it, just about the engine itself. So I wanted to just jump on here so you guys know. The engine now has been timed up, as you can see. Some things that I think I mentioned in the video that I wasn't 100% sure of at the time, but it does have a set of cat cams, 3658s. It has Ferrera valve train, new valve seats. The whole head was done. This head was done by FFE. It has a Gates belt, integrated engineering, cam sprocket. Has an LPS manual timing belt tensioner. So although it looks like the standard hydraulic tensioner, you can kind of see down in there that it's a manual adjustable one. It has a fluid damper, switched over to the 6-bolt, ARP bolt. We swapped out the crank bolt. What else in regards to the engine? I think that is the bulk of it. I talked about the injectors, intake manifold, all that stuff. So the gist of the head is basically everything is new, as you would have seen some of the B-roll and stuff that I would have taken of that. So the head's completely fresh. It is an AEB head. The next kind of thing on the list now that the engine's all timed up and ready to go, is the transmission. You're not going to see that in this video, but I already have it all apart. There was a broken shifter fork in it, so it was quite the pain to get that thing apart. Just it was wedged in there. But let's get back to the outro of the regular video. I just wanted to catch you guys up to speed on some of the parts that were in it. So back to it. If you guys have any questions, I think I'm done. I'm done talking about this one. I think if you guys have any questions or comments about this engine, anyone else, or any other project on our channel, I say this all the time, ask them below. Clayton?
If you're looking to follow along to a very cool 180 build, you're going to be excited with this one. This one's going to deliver, right?
As long as it delivers.
Okay.
See you in the next video.